Labour like to talk a lot about fairness, but their version of fairness always leaves Westminster residents paying more. Now the Chancellor is openly talking about a so-called mansion tax. In Westminster, where ordinary family homes cost over £1 million, this so-called mansion tax wouldn't target the super rich. It would target hard-working people, hammering ordinary Westminster homeowners, long-term residents and pensioners who've worked hard all their lives, just to fund Labour vanity projects and symbolic motions. In a city where the ordinary home is over £1 million, does the leader support his Chancellor's plans to introduce a so-called mansion tax, and will he recognise that it would push hard-working families and pensioners, discourage aspiration and tax success here in Westminster?
Councillor Hugg.
Thank you very much. Obviously, I too have read the speculation in the media over the weekend, and as a result have been in close contact with again, with ministers and officials about the real concerns that we would have were something like what was being floated in the press were to come to pass. We know the reality of life here in Westminster is more complex than can be presented very tritely in some of the media. For example, there are many hundreds of council homes that are in Band G, and a number in Band H as well. And we know that there are people in the private rented sector and pensioners who could be potentially significantly impacted were the government to introduce a blanket change like this. To be clear, the council under both administrations had made the case for reform to higher band council tax. Indeed, I was seeing earlier this week the paper that Councillor Kaplan produced back in 2014, making the case for an additional band I and J above band H, and there's always been cross-party support for that, provided that the revenue came to Westminster, or was at least considered as part of the overall funding formula. And obviously, we are concerned by measures that would potentially break the link between local taxation and local investment. So, look, we are concerned about this. As I said, I've been making my own representations to ministers over the last couple of days, and we will continue to do so. As I said, I know the Leader of the Opposition has just handed me a letter just now that he's writing to the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Again, I've been writing my own letter as well, and I'm sure that we can all put pressure on the Treasury to make them aware of the real issues that we have here in Westminster. We want to make sure that any impact of any changes is fully understood, and we will make that case on behalf of the people of Westminster.
Supplementary, Councillor Swaddle.
Yes, Lord Mayor. I welcome the Leader's acknowledgement that cross-party working is important, and I hope that he will join me in signing this letter. Join me in signing this letter so that we can present a joint front to the Chancellor and explain to her why this is a terrible Labour tax.
Thank you.
Thank you. Possibly there may be some tactical differences in this approach, but we are aligned in the agreement that were what was announced in the press and brought in, it will be extremely challenging for the people of Westminster. I think we are very, very clear that any changes to higher value tax would need to be done in such a way that local people were to be the beneficiaries of it, and that people on lower incomes were protected, lower and fixed incomes were protected, and those are real concerns, and obviously set against the broader local government finance situation. So I said I've drafted my own letter, obviously Councillor Swaddle has drafted his. I'm sure we can both make our representations in our own way to maximise the different perspectives that we bring to this, but we're united in the fact that this shouldn't go ahead as was floated in the press.